Blondie Yellow Horse is out from the bullpen now as he'll work in his third game so far this spring.
Blondie Yellow Horse.
Stepping in and ready for another shot, Yordan Alvarez. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time.
Alvarez.
Hey, plays at one now.
Outfield shaded toward right center. Here's the first pitch.
Hey!
Here comes the 0-1. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Now here's the pitch.
He'll be fine coming out of the bullpen in this one if he can keep the ball around the knees like that.
That misses, and we're even at 2-2. Tough curveball that time, but he's able to make a little contact to keep this at-bat going. Neither guy willing to give in, and the at-bat will continue.
Nobody here, nobody.
The 2-2 one more time. A bouncer to the left side, and that's through for a hit. So the Astros put a man aboard to get the inning underway. That was not a good pitch, but he handled it nicely, guys.
Yeah, and the pitcher's got to wonder what he has to do to get it past this guy. That pitch was off the plate, but he shows great reach, gets good extension, and drives it for a two-bagger.
So now it'll be the four-hole hitter, Carlos Correa. He popped out in his first trip.
Correa.
Has a look, now the pitch. A swing and a drive sent out toward the gap. But that'll hit off the wall in left center.
Oh, cut hole, no runner.
Man, that's got to be a base running mistake right there. But taking a look at it, I guess, in his defense, he had to wait to see if the ball was going to be caught. By the time he saw it get down, the ball was already on its way back to the infield.
Hey, we got nobody, no one down here.
The third baseman.
And that'll bring up Alex Bregman as he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. Perhaps he can drive another one out of the park just like he did back in the second.
Here we go, fellas. Let's go.
Ready with the 0-1 pitch.
Ball one.
Missed low and inside with it, 1-1.
Ball, one strike.
Alvarez, the runner at third. Correa stands at second, no outs. A shot down the first baseline. And he tries to get to the backhand, but it gets on by.
Relay. Hey, no runner, no runner. Eat it.
And he'll pull into second here with nobody out. So now time will be called as we're going to get a visit from the pitching coach here as he'll hope to settle his guy down.
The right fielder, number 16, Trey.
And here's the big right-handed power threat, Trey Mancini. 1 ball, no strikes the count.
Hey, looking back, no one.
The 1-0. Now here's a swing and a high pop-up drifting into shallow right field. Flores will stay with it as he backs up and puts it away. 1 gone.
Great scoring opportunity miss right there. You talk about frustration. Popping it up with 2 runners in scoring position. He'd like to get that one back.
Now at the plate, Corey Lee, 1 for 1 after a single his first time up.
Yeah, just another simple single to the outfield would be a big one right here. Don't try and do too much. You know there's a potential base open right there. Maybe sit off speed.
1 ball, no strikes to count. Splitter that misses too low, and he's behind 2-0 now.
His pitch count is getting up there in the inning now. He needs to get this frame over with sooner than later, so forcing contact and getting the defense involved is probably the best thing he can do.
Now the 2-0 home. And there's a line drive, base hit to left field. They'll cash in here as the run is in to score from third. It's now 3-1.
Boy, he had to be sitting on a fastball, Dero, right there, because he pulls this one and gets the barrel to it to drive that runner in from third.
Yeah, Dan, you can tell he was sitting all over it. You don't get to a fastball like that without knowing it's coming. Nice piece of hitting.
Now batting, the first baseman.
At the plate, Jeriel Gonzalez, as the first pitch to him is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. A base hit in his first trip.
Hey, come on now. Here we go.
The 1-0.
Fastball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Hey, one away.
3-0 now.
Well, nothing can make you question yourself on that mound more than 3 straight balls to a guy you know that you should go right after. Sometimes you just lose the strike zone and you don't know why.
Here it comes, the 3-0.
3-1 with 2 on, and this is where you got to be geared up for something to drive. I don't think you can just groove him one right here. You still have to try to make a competitive pitch.
Fouled away. 3 runs, 7 hits. No errors in the ballgame for the Astros to this point. Back up the middle and in for a base hit.
No runner, no runner.
Throw comes in quickly here, and that'll prevent the runner at third from testing things here.
Nice piece of hitting right there. Looked like the guy on second had to respect it and freeze a little bit.
He had to freeze there for a second to make sure that line drive gets down, but eventually does get to third base.
The pitcher, number
Stepping in now, Lance McCullers, as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. He's 0 for 1 thus far. Swing and a miss, and he's in trouble now. 0-2. Still only 1 out in the inning. A ball and 2 strikes to the Astros pitcher.
Hey, this is a monster strikeout situation right here. A double play would be great in this situation, but I know he's going for the K. You get a 1-2 count on a guy, he's going to throw his nastiest stuff.
Balls up,
Popped
balls
up. And no one will get this one.
Hey, that fastball caught too much of the plate on an 0-2 count.
The 1-2. Swing and a liner.
2.
And that's through into left, a base hit. Throw to second will be in time, but the run's going to come in and score.
Oh, man, I don't know how that happened. Looked to be a base hit to the outfield, but then all of a sudden the throw comes in and they get the force on the plate. To be honest, that just can't happen.
At the plate, Fabio Rosa. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up.
Rosa.
You down now.
Here comes the first pitch. A 1 pitch on its way. No swing on the knuckle curve, even at 1-1.
Hey, this is one of those tough outings as a reliever. Just have to keep throwing strikes and believe sooner or later this inning's going to turn around.
No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike.
Great chance right here as a hitter to be really aggressive. With 2 guys already on, pretty good shot. He's going to get a challenge pitch right here.
Takes this the other way to right. But he will close fast out there in right field as he comes on to put it away, and the inning is over. So they strike for 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and a couple of men left on. On now to the bottom half of inning number 4. Astros lead this one 4-1.
Ball 4, take your base. Out. That's ball 4. Ball 4, take your base. Out. 3. He's out. You're out. Out. 3. He's out. 3. Out. 3. You're out. He's out. Out. 3. Ball 4, take your base. 3. Out. That's ball 4. 3.
Yeah, and that's just a punch to the gut of the home fans as they watch their team fall behind at the top of the 9th. Then they can't get it done at the bottom and come away with a loss.
And this afternoon's closes at a 1-run game, 7-6 today. The Stros came through when it mattered in the 9th on the way to the win. Tyler Alexander earns the victory on the mound. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
Fans, our final line score this afternoon. First for the victorious Astros, 7 runs on 14 hits. No errors. They left 9 runners on base. For the Marlins, 6 runs, 9 hits. No errors. They left 6 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 35 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely. Your attention,
Blondie
please.
Yellow Horse will come on now and take the ball for the 4th time
Number
this spring.
85, Blondie Yellow Horse.
New inning set to get underway, and ready to bat next, the Wyoming native Brandon Nemo.
Nemo.
Here we go, right now, fellas.
First offering on its way. That one catches the edge of the zone, called a strike. That's taken. Now it's 0-2.
You rarely see a pitcher of this quality throw one right down the middle, and man, as a hitter, probably a good chance you're not going to see that pitch again.
Hey, here we go. No outs now.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Weak grounder down the first baseline. Throw to first in time. One gone here in the fourth. Stepping in, Terrence Gore comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game.
Gore.
All right, jump on him.
First pitch on its way. Runs up and gets this one down. Throw not in time, and that'll go as a bunt single.
We got one out here.
Now batting, catcher.
To the plate now, Kyle Higashioka. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball one. Gore stands at first with one out.
Come on, fellas, let's go.
There he goes. Strike taken. The throw is going to be far too late. That's a stolen base.
Well, some may say that's a questionable steal with such a big lead, but to me, it's still too early to worry about disrespecting the other team. I've seen leads like this disappear, so they're going to keep trying to pile on.
Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1-2. A decent lead at second. Here's the pitch. A bouncer to the left side. A play at the plate. And after that head scratcher, everybody's going to be safe. Striding in, David Peterson, 0 for 1 after he took a look at strike 3 in his first plate appearance.
Yeah, in today's game, certainly don't get completely reprimanded for too many strikeouts, but no one likes to go down looking. Expect him to be a little bit more aggressive at the dish this AB.
And they do have him bunting with one away as he puts this one down. To second for one. Throw on to first won't be in time, so they just get the one there. So it's back to the top of the order now. And up to bat next, Delino DeShields. He's ready. Here's the first offering. And a strike called at the knees. 0-1.
Hey, two away, two away.
A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2. 0-2, here it comes. 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors on the Mets line score so far. Hit back up the middle. And that'll get through into center field for a base hit. And the runner scores from third as they extend their lead.
Dan, you were one pitch away from getting out of this. 2 outs, 2 strikes on the batter, and he's able to throw out a ribby knock.
Dero, it's hard to get more frustrated than that as a pitcher. You're 1 pitch away from getting out of a lot of traffic on the bases, getting into the inning, and next thing you know, you give up a 2-out, 2-strike base hit. Nothing more frustrating for a pitcher than to have that happen.
Ahmed Rosario is in for the 3rd time here as he watches one that misses low. It's a ball and no strikes.
Hey, we got 2.
2 down, runners at first and second. At the letters, but called high. It's a ball.
Hey, time to start making some quality pitches. He finds himself in a tough spot behind an account with guys on base.
Lifted in the air to center.
I got it, I got it.
And he'll get there in plenty of time to put this one away, and that ends the inning. Mets forced to settle for 1 here in the inning. To the bottom of inning number 4 we go. It's the Mets 5 and the Marlins nothing.
Let's play ball. Out. You're out. 3. Out. Out. He's out. You're out. 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 He's out. You're out. 3. Out. 4, take your base. Ball 4, take your base. 3. 3. Out. Out. He's out. 3. 3. You're out. 3. Out. 3. 3. 3.
Anytime you can win a game, let alone on the road, you have to feel really good about yourself. It's not easy going into that other team's ballpark and coming out with a win, but they did just that.
A one-run finish today, 5-4 the final score. The Mets jumped out to an early lead in the first and never looked back. David Peterson gets the W on the mound. Sixto Sanchez worked only 3 innings in the losing effort. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
The final line score for this afternoon's ball game. For the victorious New York Mets, 5 runs, 15 hits, no errors. They left 12 men on base. For the Marlins, 4 runs on 10.
Afternoon baseball here on the show. Coming up, we've got a good matchup in store between the Miami Marlins and the Washington Nationals. Nationals baseball starts right now. Mitchell Parker, a righty from the state of Ohio, will do the pitching in this one. What's your take on him, Dan?
It's not easy as a rookie to go out there and establish yourself, get the off-speed pitches over, and just try to be the same pitcher that you were in the minor leagues. And one of the big keys, not get ahead of yourself.
Play ball. You're out. Out.
A speedy Trey Turner digs in now. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
Nationals, the shortstop, Trey Turner.
The pitch. And here's a fastball called for strike 1.
Hey, nobody out now.
Hit on the ground toward the left. Fielded cleanly. And they won't have a play as he reaches at first. Let's see how this is scored.
Boy, that's what wheels can do for you, Dero. You can see this right here on this replay. He just simply outruns the white rabbit. He just outruns the baseball.
Yeah, it's beautiful to watch. You know why? Because this is the one tool you can't teach. You can take countless ground balls. You can hit till your hands bleed. But if you got no wheels, newsflash, you got no wheels.
There's one. On to first, and they get them both. Here now is Juan Soto. No one on base for him after the double play.
Yeah, Matt, that 2-ball really changed the complexion of this inning. It looked like the middle of the order was going to have a chance to get a big hit with some ducks on the pond, but now they just have to try and get a 2-out rally started.
Hey, get in.
Stay ahead right here.
Here comes the first pitch. And there are the umpires assigned to this one. Calling balls and strikes is Mr. Mike Fillmore.
Hey, you know, D-Roll, Mike Fillmore, he'll give a little bit off the edges, but he gets the respect not only from the pitchers, but from the players because his zone is consistent.
Yeah, as long as he's consistent, Dan, I'm okay with Mike Fillmore's zone. If a pitcher's pounding that zone, he wants to give a little bit off the outer edge, I'm okay with that.
Well above the letters with the fastball that time.
That was a tempting pitch to swing at right there. A big power guy like this really wants something that he can elevate and drive out of the ballpark.
Late making contact on that swing, and will do it again on 1 and 2. Pitch on the way.
Outside, that's a ball.
This is pulled into right. Sanchez is going to have room out there as he puts this away to retire the side. Nationals go quietly, and this is still a 0-0 ball game. So digging in now, Wandy Yellow Horse. He'll get to take his first cuts here.
Yellow Horse.
Let's go, Ken. One side right here. Hey, come on, big dog.
From the belt, kicks and deals. Line hard toward right center. And the pitcher's got himself a base hit. So now they'll have runners on the corners with 2 away.
Hey, don't let the fact that this guy's on the mound fool you right here. This guy has a nice approach at the plate, knows what he's doing, has history. I'm not surprised he was able to mix in a base knock.
Now batting, the center fielder.
Now to the plate, Christian Robinson. 2's all over the place. 2 on, 2 out, and of course, here in inning number 2. Throw over to the bag, and he'll dive back in. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Soto is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. Marlins forced to settle for 1. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 2. The Marlins on top, 1-0. Striding in now for the Nats, Renato Nunez. He's set to lead off the home half of the second.
Renato Nunez.
First offering on its way.
0-1.
Nobody.
He's ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he'll step on first for the out. 3 unassisted. In now for Washington, Jurickson Profar.
The second baseman, Jurickson Profar.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. There's a swing and a high drive into left center field. Center fielder looking up, still going back. Gone! A solo shot here off the bat of Jurickson Profar. And as a result, the Nationals are back even at 1 run apiece.
When you're facing an elite starter, you know runs are going to be at a premium. I don't know if this shakes the starter's confidence, but you know what it does? It certainly boosts the confidence of the guys in your lineup.
Batting fifth.
Into the box, KJ Harrison. As he takes a cold strike at the knees, it's 0-1.
Who's the first here?
And this is hit hard to the right side. Foul. Bases are empty, one man out.
One down, one down.
And he popped him up. Back into foul territory behind first. And no one can get there. It's a foul ball. The next 0-2. Swung on, and this one's driven in the air as well to deep right field. And he's going to make the catch. And he paid a big price for it, too, as he crashes headlong into the wall.
Batting seventh.
So stepping in, Corey Ray. He'll try to make something happen with 2 gone in the bottom of the second. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Here's a breaking ball, but it doesn't quite find the strike zone. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. There's a cut fastball that time that runs in a bit too tight, and it's 2-0 now.
It's never advantageous to fall behind 2-0 as a pitcher, but if you're going to do it, it's far better to do it with a guy down in the bottom of the order. Time for a challenge fastball right here, though.
2-1 after the foul ball there. Bouncer up the middle. And the inning will continue as that's through for a 2-out hit.
There's a hard hit ground ball. Pitcher not able to get a glove on it. Hard single up the middle.
Yeah, watch your lips right there, Dan. Sent it back right where it came from.
So now to the plate, Trace Barrera, as he will take strike one on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. He takes his first cuts in this one with a man at first and 2 away.
Hey, 2 here.
Swinging a liner toward the gap in left center. And this is into the alley and ought to be good for extra bases. Ray rounds the corner and is headed home. The runner from first comes all the way around to score. And time will be called here as the pitching coach heads out to the mound and hopefully try and settle this guy down a bit.
Batting ninth, the pitcher.
In now, Mitchell Parker, as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike one. Runner in scoring position with 2 gone.
Hey, now, we got 2.
Now a swing and a fly ball. Long run for the right fielder, but this will land untouched. Ready on 0-2. Ground ball left side. Throw to first will get him easily, and the side is retired. So it's 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and a runner left on. We'll go now to the top of the third. The Nationals lead it 2-1. Matt Vasgersian back with Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, and starting out the inning, the exciting speedster Trey Turner.
on now.
Third baseman in tight, protecting the bunt, the first pitch.
Hey.
Hey, here we go. Plays at 1 now.
Oh, now here's a drive out to the alley. He's around first, heading for 2.
Hit me. Eat it.
And he's going to get to second now with nobody out.
Man, that's got the sting for the pitcher and his teammates. They just get on the board and are feeling good about themselves, looking for a shutdown inning so they can get some more runs on the board. But instead, this guy blasts a leadoff double. Getting that shutdown inning is going to be a lot tougher now.
Now batting, center
Victor
fielder,
Robles digging in
Victor.
now. As he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. 0 for 1 for him here in this one.
Come on now. Here we go.
He'll try to bunt his way on as he gets this one down. And an off-balance throw is in time as he takes one away. Wow.
He tried the surprise attack there with a bunt with a runner on base. Hey, he gets thrown out, but it works just as good as a sacrifice.
So striding in, Juan Soto, as he's got a chance to tie this ball game up with that equalizing run just 90 feet away at third. First pitch of the at-bat.
Hey, we got one.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hit softly down the line at first. A step on the bag for 1, but one's all they get as the run scores.
Good manufactured run right there. Lead off double, move him over with the ground ball, and just put the ball in play and let him come home. Make scoring runs look easier than it actually is.
Now batting, third baseman.
Into the box now, Renato Nunez. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time. Here comes the first pitch. A swing and a drive to center field. That one's got a chance. And he will get there to make the running play, and that will end the inning. So 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. On now to the top of inning number 4. And we are all tied at 3 apiece.
Let's play ball.
Next to hit will be the pitcher, Wandy Yellowhorse. He reached on a single in his first try.
Yeah, he showed like a little prowess with the bat right there, Dan. I'd be surprised if they don't attack him a little bit more carefully this AB.
This is hit high in the air out toward left center. Long run for the left fielder. But he won't have a play. This is down and into the gap. Around second now and headed for third. The relay, but he is in there with a triple.
You take a look at this one as it flies into the gap. Both outfielders give it a chase, but they can't catch up to it. Next thing you know it, one hops the wall, and he's busting his hump around second on his way to third.
So the batting order turns over now and set to go Christian Robinson. He flew out in his last at-bat.
Yeah, give me the same at bat. As you stride to the plate right here, give me the same execution. Just get something in the air. You got a chance to take the lead right here. Don't try and do any more.
As a former pitcher, I can tell you nothing is worse than having to battle not only the hitter but the umpire as well. He didn't get some of the calls there, but there's nothing he can do about that now. Just got to go right after the next guy.
Now in the box, David Dahl. 2 hits and 2 trips for him thus far. 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors in the game for the Marlins. Softly hit down to third, likely no shot at 2. Profar for 1, but 1's all they were ever going to get, and the inning will continue.
Looked like that might be an inning-ending double play off the bat, but that was some great hustle to beat the throw at first. Keeps the inning alive, and more importantly, he gets an RBI because of it.
Play ball.
Ready to go in the bottom of the fourth.
Leading
And
up
set to
for
go is the
Washington,
second baseman,
the second
Jurickson
baseman.
Profar.
Jurickson Profar.
Go out.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Hit hard on the ground towards second. Flores has it. And there's one away. At the plate, KJ Harrison. Flied out in his first at-bat, so make him 0 for 1 so far.
KJ Harrison.
The pitch. In there for strike one, 0-1.
0-1.
You have to understand, as the hitter right here, pitcher on the mound wants a quick inning. Anything over the heart of the plate, probably got to pull the trigger on.
Hey, we got one.
Count even at 1-1 to the Nationals' first baseman. Pitch on the way. Runs coming fast and furious here. 4-3 our score as we play the fourth. Swing and a miss. Looked like the screwball there. 2 gone. Striding into the box, Corey Ray. He singled and scored in his first appearance in this one.
Ray.
And now a pitch on the way. Just off the outside, and it's 1-0. And it's fouled away.
Hey, we got two. Two down.
The 1-1 is a fastball taken high for a ball.
Here you go, guys. Let's go.
3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error thus far for the Nationals. Nearly got the inside, but ruled a ball.
Hey, he's had great command all day. Want to see how aggressive he is in the zone with a 3-ball count.
Hit on the ground to third. Throw on to first gets him, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for Washington. Score holds at 4-3.
Let's play ball. Out. 3. He's out. 3. You're out. Ball 4. Take your base. That's ball 4. Out. That hit him. He's got first. Out. 3. Out. 3. He's out. You're out. Ball 4. Take your base. Ball 4. Take your base. Out. That's ball 4. Out. He's out. You're out. 3. 3. Out. 3. 3. Out. 3. Out.
Well, the discussion around this game is real easy. It goes back to that big 6th inning when they put everything together. They really broke out there and just brought it home after that.
10-6 the final score in this game. Miami scored 10 runs on the way to victory. Blondie Yellow Horse is the winning pitcher of record. Mitchell Harker was only able to work 4 innings as he takes the loss. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
Here now is our final line score for this afternoon. First, for the victorious Miami Marlins, 10 runs on 16 hits. No errors. They left 17 men on base. For the Nationals, 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They left 7 men on base. Time of the ball game, 4 hours and 16 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely.
Blondie Yellow Horse makes his way toward the mound now as he'll appear in his 6th ball game of the spring.
Blondie Yellow Horse.
Set now for the bottom of the 5th, and now it'll be the catcher, Trace Barrera.
The catcher, Trace Barrera.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Hey, come on now. Here we go.
The windup and the 0-1. To short. Scooped up. And a good throw gets him, 1 gone. Renato Nunez will get the call here as he'll hit for the pitcher.
Hitting for the Nationals, number 39, Renato Nunez.
Drops in a strike to start the at-bat. 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. Hit out towards second. Taken in by Flores. And there are 2 away now. Victor Robles digging in now. 1 for 2 in the ball game thus far.
Victor Robles.
He's ready. Here's the first offering.
Got to be careful with this guy here. He can really handle the bat. Even though they're 2 outs, he might try to drop one down for a base hit.
Counts even at 1-1 to Victor Robles.
2 down, 2 down.
And he'll try to hold back the swing, but he'll do so unsuccessfully as that's ruled a strike. Hit on the ground out to short. Reined in. Throw in time, and the side is retired. Nationals gone in order, but they hold a 1-0 lead. Garrett Cooper will grab a bat and lead things off here in the top of the 6th.
Number 27, Garrett Hoover.
Play ball. Out. Ball 4, take the base. 3. Out. He's out. 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 Ball 4, take your base. 3. 3. 3. Out. He's out. Out. You're out. That's ball 4. Out. Out. He's out. 3. Ball 4, take the base. 3. Out. You're out. Out. 3. That hit him. He's got first. Out.
You might think it's just another win, but it's awfully hard to win in this game, especially on the road. But they find a way to get it done, and they should be very happy with this performance.
6-1 the final tally today. The Miami Marlins rode an important 6th inning to victory in this one. Blondie Yellow Horse is credited with the win. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
Here now is our final line score for this afternoon.
Afternoon baseball here on the show. Today we've got a good matchup ahead between the Miami Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals. Get ready for Cardinals baseball next. Dakota Hudson, a right-hander out of Tennessee, will be the starting pitcher. What's your take on him, Dan?
Hey, it's hard to have all 4 of your pitches on, but I think if this guy can have 2 or 3 of his 4 pitches and have command of them, he's going to have a really good game.
Play ball. 3. Out.
Standing in, Tommy Edman. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the
Leading up
first.
for the Cardinals, the shortstop, Tommy Edman.
Here it comes.
No outs. Hey, come on now. Here we
The
go.
windup and the 0-1.
That's a pitch he'd like to have back. You're not going to see very many pitches like that from a pitcher of this quality. I'm sure he'd like to have that one back to take a swing at it.
Fastball swung on and missed for the first out.
It's always nice to keep a guy that has good wheels off base, and that's just what they did right there. Big strikeout, keep that guy off the base path.
At the plate, Drew Mendoza.
The third baseman, Drew
As the first pitch to him is taken low and away for ball one.
No strike.
There we go, one.
Now here's a ball hit high and deep to straightaway right field. Looking up is the right fielder, and this one is gone. A home run. A solo shot here to straightaway right field, and the Cardinals move out in front 1-0.
Yeah, we always talk about how important it is to spot your starter or run it to early in the game, and he does just that, blasting a no-doubt bomb that serves notice. They're going to be swinging with the wood here. No better way to get the home crowd into it right out of the gates.
Into the box now, Vincent Chang, as he will take a fastball in there at the knees for strike one. Nothing in one count. Here it comes.
No, inside.
Hit on the ground to short. Throw gets him, 2 down. So bases are empty here with 2 gone, and into bat next will be Tyler O'Neill.
Tyler O'Neill.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Here's a strike with the breaking ball. O'Neill, 28 years old. He was selected in the 3rd round back in the draft of 2013.
Yeah, Matty, they certainly got it right when they drafted this guy. He has turned himself into an absolute superstar. Everybody knows this guy's name, and kids are buying his jerseys.
Hey, we got 2.
Ready with another 0-2. Now a fastball swung on and missed, and that is out number 3. So they pick up a run on the solo home run, as that'll give them the lead. We move ahead to the top of the second now. St. Louis is out in front, 1-0.
Let's play ball. 3. He's out.
Stepping in for the Cardinals, Dylan Carlson. He'll get us going here in the bottom half of the second.
Dylan Carlson.
Hey, no outs.
Now
here.
the pitch. And there's a strike right down the heart of the plate, 0-1.
Yeah, he made up his mind early to take the first pitch because that thing was right down the middle.
Hey, let's go right here.
Now the 0-1. And he fouls this one off. That ball's headed for the gap in left center. He's got a base hit, possibly more.
Relay, relay. Hey, hit me 2, hit me 2.
And he's able to hustle his way up to second as he'll reach here with a 2-base hit. Off the bat, it was pretty clear right away that that hit was going to get him at least 2 bases.
Yeah, Matt, some people like to crow about homers and powering drives, but you have to like hits like this. A no-doubt double the second it left his bat. Like you said, the only question was whether the outfielders were going to be able to keep him at second, which they did.
Batting 5th.
Stepping in now, Juan Soto, as he'll take a tough pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. fouled off. A runner at second, nobody out.
Hey, let's make a play and hold him right here. Let's go.
Fouled away. Here comes another 0-2. Good job of holding up on the low ball there, and it's 1-2. Time for a look at the umpires working this one. Behind the plate is Darryl Parker.
Hey, not a very big strike zone, but a strike zone that kind of moves around a little bit too much for my liking.
Yeah, Dan, I know there's not a clear scouting report with Daryl. I'll tell you what, you're going to know in the first 2 innings where he's going to be.
Yeah, come on, relay, relay.
And that's taken in straightaway right. Will he try from second? Coming to the plate now, Colton Wong, trying to make it a 2-0 ball game by bringing home that runner from third.
Here we go, fellas.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Nope.
And that's inside for a ball, 1-0. We're in the second with the Redbirds holding a 1-0 lead. That evens it up, 1-1.
One away.
From the belt, kicks and deals, and it's fouled away. Another one sent foul.
Don't be shocked if this pitcher tries to go a little bit further outside the zone. 3 foul balls in a row. He wants to get a swing and a miss on this next pitch.
Grounded up the first baseline. The next 1-2 pitch, and he fouls this one off. Now a swing and a bouncing ball for the shortstop, Polanco. Only play is going to be to first, so score it as an RBI ground out as the lead moves to 2-0 now.
That grounder was hard hit, and sometimes the runner at third will have to hold on a ball like that, but he was off on contact, and they opted to take the out at first instead.
In now, Jared Young. He'll try to make something happen with 2 gone in the bottom of the second.
Jared Young.
Hey, we got 2.
First offering on its way.
Ball. Counts 1-0.
Hey, come on, guys.
And now a pitch on the way. This is on the ground over to first. Throw not nearly in time as he reaches it first.
Hey, that's great hustle right there out of the box. Not everybody's getting it right out of the chute from step one, but I have to ask you, Dan, how frustrating executing a pitch and there's an infield knock.
It is, D-Roy, and you can read that right off the bat as a pitcher. You can read the angle, and you know that that ball is going to be hit on the ground, and you're thinking deep down inside, okay, there's a quick...
And we'll have to leave it there as the play is made here to end the inning. 2 hits here in the inning lead to a run for the Redbirds. We've played 2 full. It's the Cardinals 2 and the Marlins nothing. So here now is the pitcher, Blondie Yellow Horse, 9-1-2 due up.
Hey, we're still in the early stages in this one. They're only down by a couple of runs, but it's really key for this leadoff guy to try to get on and get a big inning started.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Line drive, and that's a base hit into center field.
Attaboy, way to swing the bat. You smoked that thing.
Hey, this is perfect storm right here. This is how big innings start. You put a crooked number up on the board when the pitcher leads off an inning with a huge knock.
Now at the plate, Christian Robinson. 0 for 1 here in the early going.
Center fielder, Christian Robinson.
Hey, your pitch. Drive it deep, huh? Here you go.
The 1-2. Lifted in the air out to right. Carlson will settle under it to make the play for the first out as the runner will have to head back to first. David Dahl to the plate now.
Now batting, the left fielder, David Dahl.
Now a move over to first. A dive, but he's back. The 0-1 on its way. On the ground up the middle. And that gets through for a one-out base hit.
A lot of traffic hitting a base pass first and second with one out. I know you're looking for a double play ball, Dan.
No question about it. I think one of the things you like to do on a pitcher is try to jump on him early before he gets settled in. So far, so good. First and second looks like a big inning could be brewing.
Shortstop.
Yellow Horse at second. Dahl at first. One gone. Now this is on the ground to first. We'll see if they can get two. One there. On to first as they get the double play to get him out of the inning. So no runs here on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left. We'll head now to the home half of inning number 3. It's the Cardinals 2 and the Marlins nothing. Bottom of the 3rd now, and that'll bring up the switch-hitting shortstop, Tommy Edman.
One of the keys to securing a win, they want to keep the pressure on and try to build that lead as much as they can moving into the later innings.
And that's in there for a strike.
0-1's the count.
Hey, we got no one.
Runs up and gets this one down. Throw to first will get him as they pounce on it quickly to snuff out the bunt attempt. Digging in to try it again. Drew Mendoza. He got a hold of one and went yard in his first appearance in this one. Now here's the pitch. One out, nobody on. And he falls behind 0-2. Fouled off. The 0-2 once more.
Hey, 3 foul balls in a row right here, searching for that put away stuff.
Hit on the ground to short. Throw on to first, 2 gone. Ready for another chance. Vincent Chang 0 for 1 for him here in this one.
Vincent Chang.
First offering on its way. High and deep to right center. A ball that's carrying. And he gets there as he had a lot of ground to cover that time, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals, but they hold a 2-0 lead.
Play ball. 3 out.
And now the Cardinals' number 4 hitter, Tyler O'Neill.
The left fielder, Tyler O'Neill.
Nobody here, nobody.
First delivery to him on the way. And he just misses inside with the fastball there.
All right, come on now.
And he reaches out for one and may have chased it as this is skied into the air to straightaway center. Robinson is right there, 1 down. Now at the plate, Dylan Carlson. They'll try to follow up the double in his last at-bat with another big hit right here.
Well, he got a good pitch to hit last time up. Looked for it up in the zone and didn't miss it. Those are the pitches you only get. Maybe once an AB, maybe once a game, maybe once a week. So he certainly capitalized on it last time.
Fastball in there for a strike. 92 on the radar gun that time.
One.
Ground ball sent back up the middle. Beautiful diving stop. How about that?
Oh, man, once it got past the pitcher, I figured it was a base hit, but then the shortstop comes out of nowhere to make the diving stop. That was incredible.
Digging in, Juan Soto. He flew out in his last at-bat.
Juan Soto.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Drops in a strike to start the at-bat. 0-1. 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors so far for the Redbirds. Hit back up the middle. He's got it. And the off-balance throw gets him as he takes away a hit, and the side is retired. Down in order go the Cardinals as they're unable to add to their 2-0 lead.
Play ball. You're out. Out.
Now to the plate, the pitcher, Blondie Yellow Horse. He singled his last time up.
Yeah, he showed like a little prowess with the bat right there, Dan. I'd be surprised if they don't attack him a little bit more carefully this AB.
And a check swing here, but he clearly went around on a pitch that would have been a strike anyway. It's 0-1. No runs, 4 hits, and no errors in the game for the Marlins. Now a flare out toward right center. Wong ranging into the outfield. He gets there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. So they breeze through this half of the inning. Last half of the 5th coming up. It's the Cardinals 2 and the Marlins 0. Eduardo Nieve will come on now and take the ball for the 4th time this spring.
Number 20, Eduardo Nieve.
Play ball. 3. He's out. Out. You're out. Out. He's out. 3. Out. 3. 3. Out. You're out. 3. Out. Out. Ball 4. Take your base. Ball 4. Take your base. Out. 3. He's out. You're out. 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 He's out. That's ball 4.
Well, this one had its moments of drama and excitement. In the end, these guys came away with the victory and look on to the next one.
5-1 the final total in today's game. St. Louis jumped out to an early lead in the 1st and never looked back. Dakota Hudson pitches well enough to get the W. Blondie Yellow Horse was only able to work 4 innings as he takes the loss. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
Our final line score this afternoon. First for the victorious St. Louis Cardinals, 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They left 4 men on base. For the Marlins, 1 run on 6 hits, no errors. They left 11 men on base. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 52 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely. Ladies and gentlemen,
Blondie Yellow Horse is on his way to the mound now as he'll work in his 8th ball game here this spring.
Number 85, Blondie Yellow Horse.
All ready to go in the top of the 5th. And at the plate will be the speedy outfielder, Victor Robles.
Number 16, Victor Robles.
First offering on its way. Check swing called strike, 0-1.
0-1's the count.
The windup and the 0-1. This is line to left. Dahl arranged to his left as he tracks this one down in left center for the first out.
Well, we've mentioned the conditions aren't ideal with the rain coming down, and that can make every play a little bit of an adventure. You really have to concentrate, and he did there to haul it down.
Here now is Juan Soto. He's off to a fast start in this one, 2 for 2, including a home run.
Soto.
Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch. A swing and a drive sent out toward the gap. Looking up is the center fielder. Still ranging back. Gone! Solo shot to right center. His second of the game. And the Nationals have now taken a 4-0 lead.
Second home run of the game right there. He is locked in at the plate. You hear so many of today's players talk about rhythm and timing. Well, he is perfectly on time in the heart of the zone.
Now batting, the third baseman.
And here's Renato Nunez. As he'll look at a fastball in there on the outer half. It's 0-1. 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors so far for the Nationals. A little quick on that swing, and he finds himself behind 0-2.
That's a ball.
Tried to get him to go after one below the knees, but it's 1-2.
Hey, one out here. We got one.
Into right field. That's a base hit.
Boy, this has been a tough one for him so far, D-Roll. 7th hit of the game already. They're really making him work.
Yeah, 100%, Dan. As Dustin Pedroia says, it's a laser show out there.
Jurickson Profar digs in next as he'll take one up in the zone, but indeed in the strike zone for the first strike. He's 1 for 2 in this one.
Hey, one down.
The 0-1 on its way.
Ball.
Nunez, a runner at first with 1 gone in the inning.
Hey, let's roll 2. Push 2.
Seared down the first baseline. Oh, and it eats him up a bit. And a nice job to stay with it that time and get the second out of the inning. Ready for another shot now. KJ Harrison. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far.
KJ Harrison.
Here comes the first pitch.
Aye. 0-1's the count.
He's set. Here's the 0-1. A swing and a ground ball to third. Oh, a diving effort as it's off his glove. And a good effort here, but he's well safe at first, and there are 2 on and 2 out now.
Hey, come on. We got one
At
right
the
here.
plate now, Corey Ray. As he'll pop this one foul off to the left and out of play. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. Oh, and 1 count and the pitch.
Ball. That's inside.
4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors so far for the Nationals. Pulled toward right center field.
You go.
Robinson will get there, and he puts it away to retire the side. Only 1 in the inning for the Nationals. Home half of the 5th coming up. It's the Nationals 4 and the Marlins nothing.
Let's play ball. Ball 4. Take your base.
Coming to the plate now, Wandy Yellowhorse. First at bat of the game for him here in the 5th, as he was a late entrant into this one. From the belt, kicks and deals. Now the 0-1. Grounded back up the middle. And the pitcher's got himself a base hit.
Nice execution right there, Dan. Kept his front shoulder in, kept his hands inside the baseball, and ripped the base hit up the middle.
And if you're a pitcher right there, you can't get discouraged. Sometimes even when you make a good pitch, the ball's going to find a hole somewhere. That one right up the middle.
And a swing and a miss there on a late breaking slider as he set down on strikes for the 2nd time this afternoon. And that'll bring up the speedy outfielder David Dahl. A hit in 2 tries so far. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. Swing and a miss on the changeup, and there are 2 gone.
Really impressive pitching right there. Sometimes as a pitcher you can get frustrated when you make a good pitch and you don't get that call from the umpire. But what does he do? He comes back with a good pitch and gets the strike.
The batter, number 11, shortstop, Jorge.
Popped him up.
Polanco.
Profar is there. And the inning is over. Marlins strand a pair. They trail here 4-0. Daniel Castano will come on to make his 9th appearance already here this spring.
Number 72, Daniel Castano.
Play ball. Out. That's ball 4. Out. Ball 4. Take the base. He's out. Out. You're out. Out. He's out. Out. You're out. 3. Out. Ball 4. Take your base. 3. He's out. Out. First base. 3. That hit him. He's got first. 3. Out. Out. You're out. 3. Out.
Hey, it's hard to win games at any point, but to win games on the road, especially in this ballpark, so they are very happy with this win.
And this afternoon's game ends 7-3. Washington led this game from the 3rd inning on and never wavered. Mitchell Parker gets the W on the mound. Ernest Villegas was only able to work 4 innings as he takes the loss. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
The final line. Ladies and gentlemen,
Blondie Yellow
your
Horse
attention,
will
please.
come on to make his
Now
9th
pitching
appearance
for
already
Miami,
here this spring.
number 85, Blondie Yellow Horse.
So the lineup flips over and digging in, Tommy Edman. He'll get things started here in the second half of the 6th.
This one doesn't look good so far. Down by a boatload as we enter the middle innings. It's about time they get something going. And the last thing you want to do is fall behind where you have to score a bunch in the 8th and 9th inning.
Hey, nobody away.
The windup and the 1-0 pitch.
Aye.
And he takes one off the inside corner for ball 2.
Guys, let's go.
Here's a topper fouled off to the right, and that'll even the count at 2-2. And the pitch. And he popped him up. Back into foul territory behind first. And this will not be caught. It's a foul ball. And a full count as that misses. It's 3-2 now. Skied into straightaway right. Sanchez moves to his right and puts this one away in the alley for out number 1. Digging in and looking for more, Justin Turner. He's singled in 2 trips to the plate thus far.
Justin Turner.
Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Swinging a ball in line down in the left field corner. Just foul.
Here we go now. Let's go.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Swings through it for strike number 2.
One out right here.
Bases are empty. 1 man out. Fouled away. Fastball, strike 3 called as he couldn't pull the trigger, and there are 2 away.
I like how he worked him backwards for that strikeout there. He wasn't showing the fastball early in the at-bat, but then went back-to-back once he had the hitter down in the count.
The batter.
To the plate now, Vincent Chang. As he sends it on the ground to first. And he'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is over. Nothing across here this half. 7th inning coming up. It's the Marlins 6 and the Cardinals nothing.
Let's play ball. Out. 3. He's out. You're out. Out. 3. Out. Out. You're out. 3. Ball 4. Take the base. 3. 3. Out. That's ball 4. Out. He's out. You're out. Ball 4. Take the base. 3. Out.
Well, this game had its moments, but it got out of hand pretty quick. Always nice when you could coast to a 6-run win. Save your closer for another day and let everyone in on the action.
6-0 the final shutout score today. Miami jumped out to an early lead in the first and never looked back. Sixto Sanchez takes home the win. Taijuan Walker struggled and gets the loss after giving up 6 earned. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
Here now is our final line score.
Afternoon baseball here on the show. Ought to be a good one here between the Miami Marlins and the Washington Nationals. It's baseball on the show, and it's coming up next. Steven Matz is ready to go as he'll be on the mound for the Nationals. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, this guy has a 4-pitch repertoire, right? And those are a lot of nice options to have. You can go hard, soft. You can go in and out. And anytime you have 4 pitches, if you can throw them for strikes, you have the big advantage.
At the plate, Trey Turner. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
Leading up for the Nationals, the shortstop, Trey Turner.
And the pitch.
Hey!
Looking at his lifetime numbers, Turner has collected just over 150 home runs in his big league days. Into the windup, here comes the 0-2 pitch.
Hey, we got no outs.
Swing and a liner. Foul. Yeah, the rain starting to intensify here. It's coming down a little heavier now. We'll see how much longer the umpires can wait.
Well, you could say that again, Matt. It's raining cats and dogs out there. Make sure you don't step in a poodle. I think it's time to get the grounds crew out.
Speared on the dive. It's there. He got him.
Outstanding play over there at first. That ball was headed for the hole, but he pulled it in on a dive. Then great presence of mind to take it himself for the out.
So the base is empty here with 1 away, and that'll bring up the outfielder Victor Robles.
Victor Robles.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. And a screwball is off the plate away for ball 1.
Here we go, guys.
The 1-0. Smoke toward third. And he whiffs on it as this ball's right under his glove.
Hold.
That's what you want the guys at the top of the order to do. Set the table for the monsters. 3, 4, 5. Nice piece of hitting.
Batting third.
Here now is Juan Soto. as he rips it on the ground to second. And that finds its way through for a base hit. Now a long throw to third.
Hey, maybe we have something brewing right here. That has to be the case. When you're facing an elite level A starter, numero uno, you have to find a way to get to him. Any chance you get, maybe this is their opportunity early.
Batting fourth, the third baseman.
And here's Renato Nunez as the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball one. And they're runners at the corners now. The 1-0.
Yeah, I get it. They want to run this guy's pitch count up, but that was a pretty good pitch to hit. He might be kicking himself that he didn't swing at that one.
Hey, we got one.
The 1-1 pitch. Runners are at the corners with one man out. Chopped to third. Tough to get to. To second for one. On to first, and he really paid the price at second base, but it's a double play, and the inning is over. Around the horn they go. 5-4-3 to end the threat. An inning in the books. No score on the show. The pitcher, Blondie Yellowhorse, steps up to the plate in a sacrifice situation, so let's see if that is indeed on right here. First delivery to him on the way. Skied into straightaway right. Chasing after it is Ray. He's got it. A nice play there. 2 away.
What's the play ball?
Last half of the second set to go, and that'll give way to the veteran second baseman, Jurickson Profar.
Hey, we're still in the early stages in this one. They're only down by a couple of runs, but it's really key for this leadoff guy to try to get on and get a big inning started.
First pitch on its way.
Outside, that's a ball.
Well, that rain is really coming down right now. It's raining cats and dogs. You got to make sure you don't step in a poodle. That's as hard as I've seen it rain all afternoon. Everyone, it's so much harder to concentrate when it rains.
Little tardy on that swing as it's well wide of first.
Hey, come on now.
The 1-1. Line towards center field.
Mine.
Robinson is there, and he has it for the first out.
Well, we've mentioned the conditions aren't ideal with the rain coming down, and that can make every play a little bit of an adventure. You really have to concentrate, and he did there to haul it down.
Stepping in, KJ Harrison.
Batting sixth, the first baseman, KJ Harrison.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. And that's in there for strike one. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1.
I got a ball, 1 strike.
Time for a look at our umpires in this one. Behind the plate is James Kingsley.
Dan, I know I was an offensive player, but I'm okay being a pitcher's umpire. If you're going to consistently pound that outer half, James Kingsley's usually going to give it to you.
Hey, listen, there's a reason why the pitchers throughout the league, they call him the king of the hill. You move the ball a little bit off the strike zone, he's not afraid to put that arm up. He's a very good pitcher's umpire.
The 1-2. A great pitch there as he couldn't get extended on that one, and he's down on strikes for the second out.
Really good pitch right there. So you're moving the ball all around the strike zone, and then what do? You come in. That's a hard pitch for any hitter to do anything with. Just really makes it difficult to get that bat head out.
Batting seven.
So now to the plate, Corey Ray. Hit on the ground down the first baseline. This gets foul. It's 0-1. Now the pitch.
No, inside.
Here we go now. Let's go.
Popped him up. Posey is there to make the catch, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for Washington. They're still down. It's 2-0. Bottom of the inning now, and now it'll be the catcher, Trace Barrera.
The catcher, Trace Barrera.
First pitch of the at-bat.
Hey,
nobody away.
On its way, the 0-1 pitch. Pulls this one in the air out to left. Waiting on it is Dahl.
That's mine.
He's got it 1 away. One away now in the Washington third, and the pitcher steps in next. It'll be Steven Matz. First delivery to him on the way. Fastball too high to start him out here, 1-0. And this is a fastball that's right on the black, but ruled a ball. It's 2-0 now.
Can't fall behind against the pitcher. Need to minimize pitch count against the easy outs, and this is certainly one of them.
Two and one after the foul ball there. 1 out, nobody on. Sent foul again, and after being way ahead, now it's even at 2-2. And it's fouled away. Into the windup. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. This is hit high in the air out toward left center. He lays out for it, but he can't pull it in.
Cut hold.
And he's in there easily at second with a 1-out double. Here now is Trey Turner, as the first pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike 1. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. The 0-1 pitch. Hit on the ground out to short. Fielded cleanly. Throw in time at first for out number 2. Victor Robles digging in now. Runner in scoring position with 2 gone.
Victor Robles.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Now a ball hit in the air to straightaway left. This is carrying well. Out of here. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left, and the Nats have cut it to 1. It's a 3-2 score.
Well, they were a lot more comfortable up 3 than they are now, only up by 1. That just goes to show you one pitch, 1 2-run shot, and the entire complexion of a game can change just like that.
Juan Soto to the plate now. As he'll take a look at a high strike that time, it's 0-1. 1 for 1 after a single his first time up.
Hey, 2.
The windup and the 0-1. Swinging a hard liner to center field. Dahl is going to have room out there as he puts this away to retire the side. So it's 2 runs here on 2 hits, with one of them being the home run. 3 innings complete. The Marlins lead this one 3-2. Digging in for his second at-bat, Wandy Yellowhorse. He flew out in his last at-bat.
Yellowhorse.
Oh, that guy. He's driving right here.
From the belt, kicks and deals. Tried to check it, and it's 0-1. We're in the 4th. 3-2 is our score. Swing and a liner, but foul.
Hey, come on, big dog. Pitch. Nobody better.
Rolled slowly down the third baseline. Profar for 1. Return throw is in time. How about that? They do turn 2, and it gets him out of the inning. So no runs on 1 base hit, no errors, and no one left on. On now to the bottom half of inning number 4. The Marlins lead it 3-2. Leading off the inning, Renato Nunez, as they'll look to get something going here and even this game up.
Renato Nunez.
Now here it comes. And he looks at the screwball that's over for strike 1. And a screwball misses here, and we're even at 1-1. Hit in the air out to center field. Robinson is in his tracks now, and he's got it for the first out. So with 1 gone in the inning, here's Jurickson Profar.
Number 10, second baseman, Jurickson Profar.
Here's the first pitch to him.
Nope, that's inside.
2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error thus far for the Nationals. Strike taken as that one catches the outer part of the plate. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike.
Hey, if you got one here, if you got one.
Now a swing and a bouncing ball for the shortstop, Polanco. And that's the second out. Settling in now, KJ Harrison. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up.
Harrison.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Two runs, 4 hits, 1 error thus far for the Nationals. And he falls behind 0-2.
Hey, get him with your best stuff right
The
here.
pitch. High in the air down the right field line. Long run for the right fielder. Into the corner. He makes the catch to end the inning. So they're held in check here this half of the inning. On to the top of inning number 5 we go. It's the Marlins 3 and the Nationals 2. Now batting, Corey Ray. He popped out in his first trip.
Yeah, I don't mind him trying to drive the ball in the air, but he can't collapse the backside, and that's exactly what he did in his last at bat. Look for him to stay a little taller and keep that upper half a little bit more over him.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Hit down the third baseline. Now here it comes. Big swing at the knuckle curve, gets nothing but air. 0-2 now.
Hey, nobody.
Line drive to left. But he'll hardly need to move out there in left as this is hauled in for the first out.
Good contact to start out the inning. Thought he might be on base with some sort of a hit, but it hung up there too long. Just unlucky that time.
Digging in now, Trace Barrera. So far, 0 for 1 with a flyout.
Trace Barrera.
Here's the first pitch to him. Hard hit toward the hole. On to first, and very quickly, 2 are gone in the home fifth. Luis Garcia will get the call to pinch hit here, as we'll see what he can do with 2 out and the base is empty.
Luis Garcia.
And a high strike there, 0-1. (4-2) our score here as we play inning number 5.
Hey, let's go right here.
Fastball called for strike 2. Now the Nats are going to get a left-hander up and throwing in the bullpen.
Hey, we got 2.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a liner, but pulled in at the hot corner, and that ends the inning. Nationals gone in order. They trail it here 4-2.
Let's play ball. 3 out.
Digging in once again, Blondie Yellow
Now
Horse.
The pitcher, Blondie Yellow Horse.
Hey, square one up. What's that?
First pitch coming. Here it is. Turned on that one and crushed it. Just pulled it a little foul.
Here we go now. Come on now. One time.
The 0-1 on its way. Swung on and lifted in the air to left center. Robles waits on it. No trouble with this one, and the inning is over. Marlins leave 1 as they can't add to their 4-2 lead. Ernest Villegas will come on now and take the ball for the 4th time this spring.
Ernest Villegas.
Play ball. He's out. Ball 4. Take the base. That's ball 4. Out. 3. You're out. 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 He's out. You're out. 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 3. He's out. 3. Ball 4. Take your base. Out. Ball 4. Take the base. You're out. 3. 3. Out.
Well, that's not exactly how you draw it up. He gave up a long ball to make it interesting, but it was the only run he gave up, and he hangs on to collect the save.
A one-run finish, 4-3, the final tally today. The Marlins took the lead in the second inning and rode that until the very end. Blondie Yellowhorse is the winning pitcher of record. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Wackney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
Here now is our final line score for this afternoon. First, for the victorious Miami Marlins, 4 runs on 11 hits, no errors. They left 16 men on base. For the Nationals, 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. They left 6 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 9 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely.
Afternoon baseball here on the show. Coming up, we've got a good matchup in store between the Miami Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals. Vincent Chang makes his much anticipated debut next. Taijuan Walker will be towing the rubber for the Cardinals. Dan Plesac, what's the word on him?
Listen, the sky has been the limit for Taijuan Walker, and I've been saying this, and I'll continue to say it. I'm going to give up on Taijuan Walker when Taijuan Walker gives up on himself. Big, strong guy, 95 to 97 miles an hour.
Ball 4, take the base. You're out.
Now at the plate, Tommy Edman. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
Leading up for St. Louis, the shortstop, Tommy Edman.
Pitch on the way. Hit hard on the ground to second. Flores is there. And that's out number 1. Ready now, Drew Mendoza.
Batting second, the third baseman, Drew Mendoza.
First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Fly ball right down the line in left. And he will make the play out there, and there are 2 away now. Stepping into the box, Vincent Chang, a highly touted prospect in this organization and a former first-rounder. He represents the future of his team to many of the fans out there. This is his first major league at-bat.
Yeah, what a monster moment for not only himself, but his family, all the coaches that have helped him along the way. This is a monumental moment in his career.
Just manages to foul that fastball off to the left, and he's in a hole now, down 0-2. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. taken off the outside as the breaking ball couldn't catch the corner. So let's take a look at our umpiring crew in this one. Working the plate, Rusty Valentine.
Dan, Rusty Valentine behind the dish tonight. He is north-south without question, letters to knees.
Well, I tell you what, he really favors a power pitcher. If you can consistently pitch at about the chest level.
A swing and a miss. That retires the side, and that will do it. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals. They trail this one 1-0. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and into bat next will be Tyler O'Neill.
Tyler O'Neill.
Here comes the first pitch. Cut fastball taken for strike one. Nothing in one count. Here it comes. Line to the right side. And he'll step on first himself for the out. Digging in, Dylan Carlson, as he'll get his first opportunity in this one.
Dylan Carlson.
Here's the pitch.
Hey! One out.
Bases are empty, one man out. And here's a ball hit in the air, but no chance to run it down. It's a foul ball. The windup and the 0-2 pitch. And he just misses inside with the fastball there.
Man, that's a good take there on that 0-2 fastball. Just missed. He must have a really good eye at the plate.
And he fouls this one off.
He got a mistake right there, but missed it. Can't foul that pitch off in a big spot. 0-2 count. Heater caught too much of the zone.
Fly ball out to straightaway right field. Scott is back in plenty of time to put this away, however, and there are two gone. Into the box, Juan Soto. He'll get to take his first cuts here.
Juan Soto.
Hey, here we go, guys.
Now here it comes.
Hey!
Cedeno, an imposing right-handed figure at 6'4" tall. He's in his third season as a major league player. Behind 0-2 now.
Got two down.
The pitch. Slapped hard the opposite way. That gets down, and he's got himself a base hit.
Eat it.
Hey, just a nice piece of hitting right there. He's able to keep his hands inside that ball, stay square as long as possible, and feed it into the opposite field for a base hit.
Batting seventh, the second baseman,
Colton Wong will stand in. And he puts it on the ground to second. Flores has it. Throw to second for the force out, and the side is retired. Cards leave one. They're down 1-0. Ready now for the Marlins. Blondie Yellow Horse, 9-1-2 due up.
Yellow Horse.
Come on, let it rip right here.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Carlson has it, and it's a quick out, number one.
Let's play ball. Out. You're out.
Leading off the inning, Jared Young, and they'll need him to get something going here.
First baseman, Jared Young.
First pitch coming. Here it is.
Ball.
Too high to start the inning. It's 1-0.
Plays it first now.
A ball and a strike to the Cardinals' first baseman.
1-1.
A ball and 2 strikes now.
2 strikes.
Take a step back right here. After 3 fastballs in a row, there is no chance he throws you a 4th.
Fouled off.
Hey, we got no one.
And he takes strike 3 called on the fastball. 1 gone. So in now is the Cardinals pitcher, Taijuan Walker.
The pitcher, Taijuan Walker.
Here's the first pitch to him. Grounded down the third baseline. But this is foul for the first strike. Now here's the pitch. And this is pop foul, but perhaps playable behind first. And that'll slice just foul at the last moment. Swing and a miss. Looked like the screwball there. 2 gone. Digging in the switch hitter, Tommy Edman. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time.
Yeah, I understand that, Matty, but this guy's got burner wheels down the first base line. I don't think he even concerns himself with that. He has to put it on the ground. That's part of what makes him successful.
0-1 the count. Now here's the pitch. Slapped hard the opposite way. Scott is there, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. Down in order go the Cardinals. They're on the short end of a 1-0 score.
Play ball. He's out. Out.
Striding in once again, Drew Mendoza. He's 0 for 1 thus far.
The third baseman, Drew Mendoza.
Hey, come on, guys.
First pitch of the at-bat. No balls and 1 strike. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Fouled away.
Hey, nobody out now. Nobody out.
Skied in the air to straightaway left. Waiting on it is Dahl.
I got it. I got it.
1 down. So striding forward now, Vincent Chang. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up.
Here we go now. Let's go.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
0-1.
No runs, just 1 hit, and no errors so far for the Redbirds.
1 down. 1 down.
The 1-0. is laid off for ball 2.
The rest of the lineup could learn a thing or two from this at bat. This guy's been really patient. Now he's in the driver's seat, sitting with the 2-0 count.
Here's the pitch.
You get yourself into count leverage 2-0 right there. You're looking to come unglued on something and be very aggressive. That ball had to nip the corner for him not to pull the trigger on it.
And he fires a fastball now for a called strike 2. Got him swinging. Chased it well out of the zone, and there are 2 gone.
You know what was really impressive to me about that strikeout? He fell behind 2-0 to start the at-bat. That's a pretty bad place to be, but then he kind of refocused himself and came right back with 3 quality pitches in a row to sit him down. That's not easy to do, but now his focus has to hone in on getting ahead on the next guy.
The left fielder.
In now, Tyler O'Neill.
O'Neill.
As the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far.
Here we go, boys.
Here's the 0-1. Here's a late swing and a miss, strike 2.
Down 0-2 to a guy with this much weaponry, 5 pitches he can go to, not looking good.
And on 0-2 he misses with a fastball. Out in front as he grounds this one to short. Reined in. Throw to first will get him easily, and the side is retired. Nothing across here this half of the inning. We played 4 full. It's the Marlins 1 and the Cardinals nothing. Coming to the plate now, the pitcher for the Marlins, Blondie Yellow Horse. He flew out in his last at-bat. First offering on its way. High in the air and drifting out to shallow center. Chang comes on now and makes the catch in shallow center for round number 2.
Play ball 3.
Stepping into the box, Dylan Carlson flied out in his first at-bat, so make him 0 for 1 so far.
Carlson.
No one out now.
And the pitch.
Here we go, fellas. Let's go.
He's able to ride this one high and deep toward right center. And that is off the wall.
Relay. Hit me. No runner, no runner.
And he is into second base with a leadoff double.
So up until this point, they've had to bite and scratch for every single thing, but he puts a good swing on this one and nearly knocks it out of the park. So we'll see if it's contagious and his partner can pick him up right here.
Up next for the Cardinals.
Standing in now, Juan Soto. He'll take a look at a pitch too low. It's ball 1. A base hit in his first trip.
Hey, come on, boys. You got to hold him right here.
A ball and no strikes. Here it is. Rounded softly down the line toward first. But a foul ball, 1-1.
Hey, no outs here.
Has a look, now the pitch. There's a swing, and he sends a ball high in the air into left field. And they take the lead. It's gone. It's a 2-run shot to straightaway left, and the Cardinals take a 2-1 lead.
Hey, I know we're not sitting up here with a crystal ball, but that swing right there, although in the middle innings, could be the deciding factor. And we could be looking back at this one when it's all said and done.
Now batting.
Here's the second baseman, Colton Wong. As he will take strike one on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. 0 for 1 for him here in this one.
Ain't nobody out now.
Cut fastball there as he manages to just foul this one away. 0-2, here it comes. And a splitter is over for a cold third strike as he's left shaking his head. One gone.
It's never easy to rebound after serving up a 2-run shot, but that at bat was a good indication to me that he isn't letting it get to him. He went right after him for the strikeout.
The first baseman.
Stepping in now,
21.
Jared Young.
Jared.
As he'll take a look at a high strike here on the outside corner. It's 0-1. First time up, he went down looking. And it's fouled away. Looking to punch him out again. The pitch. And he fouls this one off.
Hey, we've got one right here.
Weak grounder down the first baseline. Throw is not going to be in time to get him, and somehow he's going to wind up with an infield single. And time will be called here as the pitching coach heads out to the mound and hopefully try and settle this guy down a bit.
The pitcher, number 99.
At the plate now, Taijuan Walker. Now a bunt attempt here.
Walker.
And it's not in time as he's in well ahead of the throw. Throw not in time at first, so the pitcher tries to give himself up, but instead he gets himself a base hit.
Well, he took a risk with the decision to throw to second instead of taking the sure out at first. Not sure if someone was yelling for him to go to second, but we know now it was the wrong call.
Now back to the top of the lineup. Stepping in, Tommy Edman. It's been an 0 for 2 effort for him to this point.
Edman.
One out now.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. Fouled off. Comes set and the 0-1. And he takes this one high, 1-1.
Hey, ground ball right now.
Good breaking ball there, laid off for the second strike. Hit in the air toward the gap in right center. Long run for the center fielder. He tracks it down and makes the play to record the second out. Ready once again, Drew Mendoza. 0 for 2 on his line thus far.
Drew Mendoza.
2 down now.
Looking to keep this a 1-run game. The pitch. 2 men are on with 2 men out.
Here we go now. Let's go.
Fouled away. Ready on 0-2.
Ball 1.
These are the situations right here that make me miss wearing a uniform. The big spot, the cat and mouse of what's he going to throw. I'm down 1-2. Can I battle back? The pitcher's trying to put me away. This is what the game's all about.
1-2. Here it is. Grounded to third. And he'll go the short way to retire the side. So it's 2 runs on 3 hits, including the home run. No errors and a couple of men left. 5 innings complete. The Cardinals are out in front 2-1.
Let's play ball. That's ball 4. Out. 3. Out. 3. 3. You're out. 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 He's out. Out.
Well, as a former pitcher, you know I love these low-scoring games as opposed to those slugfests. This was like a throwback game when home runs weren't so common and pitching was really dominant. No complaints here.
Pitching and defense game 2-1 the final score this afternoon. The St. Louis Cardinals used a nice fifth inning to take the lead and they never gave it back. Taijuan Walker is credited with the win. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
Our final line score this afternoon. First for the victorious St. Louis Cardinals, 2 runs on 5 hits. No errors. They left 4 men on base. For the Marlins, 1 run, 8 hits. No errors. They left 11 men on base. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 36 minutes.